everyone, we're back at Hersheypark. I know last time that we were at Hersheypark, I hinted that we were going to start by doing something involving the carousel. However, there's been a little bit of a change of plans. We noticed that there's been a little bit of a trend going around on social media involving people taking Dungeons & Dragons dice that have multiple sides. If you're not familiar with how Dungeons & Dragons works, you don't really need to know it for this, but they take the dice and they roll them, and whatever number the various dice land on, they will create a video based on the randomness of that. So we thought, hey, we should try to interpret that into our video and do an amusement park themed one. So we're going to try to do Roll for Hersheypark. And so we're going to find a table, a good space where we can roll our dice and see what we come up with. We'll show you the categories and what items are under each of those categories. And then we'll try to do all the rolls in one take so that you know that we're not just trying to edit the video so that it lands on stuff that we want. This is truly randomized. So let's go find a good spot to roll. Alright, so here's a look at our different categories. First of all, there are 6 different types of dice. There is a D4, a D6, a D8, a D10, D12, and D20, which the D just means die. So it's the different amounts of sides on each of the dice. And so for the D4, our category are the gift shops in the park. So those 4 gift shops. D6 are the sections of the park other than the boardwalk or Zoo America. And the D6 is the traditional die that you're used to seeing in games. D8 are the restaurants in the park. The D10 will be for the various menu items at that particular restaurant. Since we haven't rolled for the restaurant yet, it's TBD after we roll for the restaurant. The D12 will be an off-ride of one of the coasters in the park. And then the big mother, the D20, will be for one of the other non-coaster rides in the park. And you can see our list here. So let's start rolling, starting with the D4. Let's see what we roll. Here, can you take your phone, please? Alright. So I'm left-handed, so this might be difficult for me to roll this, but there. And we hit a 1. So number 1 was... Number 1 was the Hersheypark Supply Co. So that's a big gift shop, so that might take a minute. Alright, we'll find the D6. Roll that one. That one lands on a 5. So number 5 on that is the Pioneer Frontier area of the park. So looking for the D8. D8. That one we rolled a 4. Number 4 for the D8 is... Where are we going to eat? The Overlook Food Court. D10 we're going to skip. Need to grab the... Skip the D10. We're going with the D12. And that one landed on a 12. D12 is Jolly Rancher Remix, if I can get the camera to focus. And last but not least, the D20. Gonna roll that, see what we get. For that one, we rolled a 1, which the 1 is the Dry Gulch Railroad. So we'll actually be able to do an on-ride of that since it's not a very extreme ride. So let's get the video started. So here's a look at the map specifically focused on Pioneer Frontier. As it says at the top, Pioneer Frontier is one of the largest sections of the park. You can see the Aqua Theater up in the top right is included in the area, as well as the bumper cars, mini pirate ship. And that's just on the right hand side. There's a ton of space here. I always consider, they don't actually label when you're entering into Pioneer Frontier, but I always consider when you cross underneath of the monorail track here to be entering it, but it looks like a few of the other things are part of it too, including the bumper cars, so we might need to cover a lot of ground to show this whole area. So we'll start our look at the Pioneer Frontier region of the park coming from Midway, America. It starts where this flag is, which the flag can be found right across from the track for Fahrenheit, and it's also directly across from the entrance to the boardwalk, which is over here. So in addition to the track for Fahrenheit, in the foreground here you see the kiddie ride Red Baron, which is basically a Dumbo style ride. The kids can lift themselves up on these planes and circle around. It's kids only, no adults can ride on this one. Beyond that is the typical carnival style milk can game, which let us know in the comments if you've ever won this game, because I can't seem to find a way to ever win that. There's a look at the train going up the hill. If you're looking for smoking areas in the park, there's one right here in front of the Fahrenheit track. They have a face painting and hair braiding kiosk. Beyond that, you come to the restrooms for the Pioneer Frontier area. These particular restrooms are also used as a changing area since it's right across from the boardwalk area. So you might find a lot of wet floors in there. Beyond that, there's always a Chevy vehicle of some sort sitting here as a display. But then there's also the entrance to Fahrenheit. The line is crazy long today. Across the walkway is a hot dog cart and a beer cart, which neither one of them are open at the moment. At this point, you come to a fork. You can either make a right to go past the Fahrenheit station, or you can go straight across this bridge. We're going to go straight across the bridge. We'll pass by the Howler on the right, and then across the bridge are some more coasters. Pioneer Frontier has 4 coasters. It has Jolly Rancher Remix, Fahrenheit, Trailblazer, and also Storm Runner. So we've seen Fahrenheit. We're coming up on the other 3. The other 3 are clustered kind of close together. There's really nothing of note going across this bridge except for a nice look at the top hat for Storm Runner. But when you get over to the other side of the bridge, you can see the track on the left. The green track is for Jolly Rancher Remix, which goes through a tunnel that they added when they rethemed it to Jolly Rancher Remix. That used to be known as Sidewinder. And in the foreground is Mixed, flavored by Jolly Rancher, which is a Nebula's style ride. I've actually never ridden one of these. We've always had problems with the lines being too long, so we've always skipped it. Behind all that fun is a little food court area with several different restaurants. And at the far end is, in that building in the distance, is a Subway. And then over here is a food truck where you can get Jolly Rancher flavored sweet treats. They have this fun Hersheypark sign that shows the Jolly Rancher Remix and the Mixed logos, looking like a DJ turntable. More face paint and henna tattoos over here. Face painting is very popular at this park, apparently, judging by the number of booths that they have. Here's a nice look at the Jolly Rancher Remix sign. And another sign that they added when they reopened Sidewinder as Jolly Rancher Remix. They have a sign letting you know The entrance to Jolly Rancher Remix is to the left, and Storm Runner is to the right. There you can see Trailblazer coming by behind the Storm Runner track. There's some Pepsi soda machines right underneath of the Storm Runner station. Well, looks like Jolly Rancher Remix is temporarily out of service, so since that's the one we rolled, we may have to re-roll if that doesn't open up later today. Here's the entrance to Storm Runner right past Jolly Rancher Remix. It is running. Look at the line is pretty short though. Inside the station there's a little photo place. They used to actually sell photos in here, but it looks like they've moved it to the photo hub, so you would have to go to one of the photo hubs which are listed on the map at the bottom there to pick up your photo from this ride. Underneath of Storm Runner's launch is a walkway. As you go down the walkway, you'll be running parallel for a little bit to Trailblazer's track. Hopefully as we're walking we'll be able to catch some of Trailblazer coming by. It's been running well all day, which is nice to see. They also have these decorative flowers on the fence on the right. As we cross under the train track, we'll be able to see the helix on Trailblazer down here. And to the right you come to the Spring Creek Smokehouse, but it's actually at the bottom of this hill. You can see people smoking the meat right now. If you had smell-o-vision, you would know it smells great over here. We've shown the sign before, but here's a look at what you can get at the smokehouse, the various smoked meats. There goes Trailblazer around the helix, and down this little walkway here's the actual entrance to Trailblazer. They have the big sign right up front here with the arrow pointing you to the right entrance. Crossing over this bridge over the water here, they have the area on the left blocked off, which leads to a building where they were using for Dark Nights one of the houses. I'm not sure if they'll use it for that next October or if they'll use it for something else. We'll have to wait and see. But beyond that is the last remaining feature of the Pioneer Frontier area, which is the Aqua Theater. 3 shows a day in here featuring sea lions and seals. It's educational. It'll teach you about the sea lions and seals, and at the end they'll do some tricks with jumping up and touching balls that are hanging from the ceiling and clapping their fins and whatnot. So that's the far opposite end of Pioneer Frontier, so let's turn around and see what the other end of the fork takes us to. Turning the other way at the fork, the howler will be on your left now. On your right will be the station for Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit takes up a large portion of the footprint of this area. It has one of the photo hubs in here. I believe it doesn't look like anybody is in there currently. So this one may also make it so that you have to go to a more central location to pick up your photos. Continuing along the walkway, you come to a Dippin' Dots, and beyond that is the Coaster Collectibles gift shop. We walked through there on our last visit to Hersheypark. They have some Wildcats Revenge merchandise in there, as the sign says out here, but it's running low very quickly. There is also on the other side a Fahrenheit catering area for people who are here for special events. And beyond that, a shootout game where it's knock the 3 bottles off of a platform with a gun, a ball attached to a gun. Another very difficult game to play. There's another game beyond this which is closed right now, and they don't have a sign up, so I'm not sure if they're switching out what game is there or not. On the left is Burke's Hot Dogs, if you need a quick hot dog bite. And on the right is the Playdome Arcade, which, as the name implies, if I can get away from this very loud music, it is just an arcade. You can see inside they have your standard video games. You can win tickets and cash them in for prizes. Underneath this awning, which this is a nice place to come when it rains, they have the disc drop game, which is like the game Plinko. If you've seen The Price is Right, you can win a number of prizes right there. This area also importantly contains the building that has the Lost Children Corral, as well as guest services and accessibility services. So if you lose your child, or if you're a child who lost their parents, this is the place you want to come. Around the side is also the first aid spot. There's a little pretzel cart over here. Right beyond that is a Pepsi fast fill station. You can refill your drink bottles or purchase a new one, or just purchase a one-time use cup from here to get some soda or water or anything else you want to drink. They have a little airbrushing kiosk for airbrush t-shirts, as well as a custom jewelry kiosk over here. A popcorn, lemonade, and cotton candy cart. The Claw, which is almost like a giant frisbee ride, except you're facing inward instead of outward. That's personally one of my favorite flat rides that they have at amusement parks, and any of them, not just specifically Hersheypark. They have a whack-a-mole game known as Rattler's Revenge. Here, beyond that, is the train station. There is a second smoking area, which is behind the Claw. In front of that, they have Captain Splash, which is a water racing game. You can see you can win some Hershey characters at this game. Beyond that is Dips Ahoy. You basically have to roll a bowling ball at just the right speed to get it over one hump without it rolling back to you or rolling too far forward. It's a very difficult game. There is another fast fill station over here. They have water fountains and vending machines over here that you can use. The water, they have 12 different water spots, so it's very good to use if you need hydration on these hot, humid Pennsylvania days. They have a standard pirate ship ride over here, and a giant claw machine, which I find to be very funny that they put this right here since it's right next to the claw ride. On the other side is a Chick-fil-A, which we're here on a Sunday, so they're closed, but they get very busy other days of the week. Another Chevrolet ad. And then beyond that, we come to the flag that shows that we're entering Founders Way. So despite what the map showed, I believe that this is actually the cutoff point going under the monorail track, because we're at the Founders Way flag. So I will call it a day on Pioneer Frontier. That's the length of it. Although I don't think it's actually part of Pioneer Frontier, because it was on the Pioneer Frontier map, I'll show you anyway. Across from the monorail entrance, there is this building that's all Reese's colored. Used to be where you could make your own music videos. Beyond that are the other rides that we saw on the Pioneer Frontier map. Right straight ahead is the Coco Cruiser, the kiddie coaster in the park, and then down the hill to the right you can see the fender bender bumper cars. And then down a very steep hill, there are a little pirate ship in the background And in the foreground, you can see the little Reese's cup in the center. This is a little spinny teacup style ride. They call this ride the Dizzy Drones. And there's also another milk can game over here. So that's this extra area that's technically in the Founders area, but they consider it to be Pioneer Frontier. Here we are at the Dry Gulch Railroad. It's a round trip train ride, and we're going to take you around, show you the ride in its entirety. From the train, you have a great view of the Frontier Flyers ride, but it's a little bit deceptive because you have to cross a bridge to get to it. It's not immediately directly next to, at least the entrance to the ride isn't directly next to the train station. The train station is closest to the pirate ride. The train itself has 5 cars, and there is no narration on this ride, unlike the other modes of transportation you find around the park, such as the monorail, which the track is right above us here, and the Kissing Tower. Great view of the Storm Runner track and the Triple Towers from this bridge that we're currently crossing. Prospector down there mining. Sometimes there's water coming out of here. It doesn't look like it's going today. There's the launch point for Storm Runner, the only launch coaster in the park still. And also you can see some of Jolly Rancher Remix in the background. And Trailblazer in the foreground. Trailblazer running nearly parallel for a minute. A little bit of a view of the neighborhood near Hersheypark. It's funny that this park is so close to an actual neighborhood where people live. at the boardwalk. I'm actually being misted a little bit going through here. Here's Jolly Rancher Remix, which looks pretty quiet right now. Tunnel. You can see Fahrenheit's lift hill from here. And then over here is Frontier Flyers again, showing that we're just about back where we started. One more quick little tunnel. And there's our station. So that's the full lap around. It looks like it was about 6.5-ish minutes, give or take. So not a very long ride, but still a fun, relaxing ride if you need to take a load off. Okay, so let's re-roll for the coasters. If we get a 12, we're gonna have to re-roll again since Jolly Rancher Remix is down. Alright, so let's see what we get. We got a... Oh man, it's really hard to see, but it's a 1. So the 1 on the list is, oh, big old Sky Rush. Here we go. It looks like Sky Rush is actually running today. One cool thing about Sky Rush is that the station actually has one of the few clocks in the park on it, so you can keep an eye on the time at all times. And right below the station is one of the bathrooms for the Hollow, so if you need to use the bathroom before you ride, there's your convenient bathroom right there. Sky Rush is a coaster manufactured by Intamin, who also manufactured what is currently my favorite coaster, the Velocicoaster, at Universal in Orlando. This was the first mega coaster at Hersheypark, the first one over 200 feet. And since it's not made by B&M, it's not a hyper coaster, it's a mega coaster. And it was also the first coaster 200 feet plus that I personally rode, so needless to say I was very nervous at the time that I rode it. But it's also probably the most intense coaster of that height that I've ridden. It is a crazy coaster. It has some crazy twists and turns, no inversions, but the turns and elements more than make up for the lack of inversions. You can see how crazy the line is right now. It's over a half full queue. That's probably 90-minute wait right there, though I haven't checked the app to see exactly what they list the wait time as. The hill goes down this way, right past both the Comet and the Great Bear. There are 8 rows on the blue train, and as you can see, the 2 middle seats of each row are centered, but if you're sitting on either end of a row, your feet are dangling off, so you're 200 feet in the air with your feet dangling. There aren't too many coasters where you can say that. Even inverted coasters don't typically go 200 feet up, so that's a special feeling to just be hanging loose like that, way far up in the sky. No wonder they call it Sky Rush. The coaster uses a cable lift to get you up the hill, which goes incredibly fast. So if you have any doubts about riding once you're seated, you don't have much time to think about it after that. Sky Rush is notorious for having uncomfortable restraints depending on your body type. Here's a look at the tester seat that's out in front of the ride. You can see that it has a lap bar that is very flat and will come down and kind of squish your thighs. So that's why this coaster has gotten the nickname Thigh Crush. Some people are fine with the restraints, other people hate this coaster because of those restraints. One of the cool features of Sky Rush is right next to it there is this little walking path that follows the water. You have a great view of Hersheypark's waterway along this path. And as you continue to follow the walkway down this way, because Sky Rush has such a large footprint within the park and the track tends to follow the water, you get a great view of the rest of the ride as you go down this path, along with some fountains. So if you want to see what the rest of the ride looks like, here's a good portion of it. This is where the first drop leaves you, and then you come around here. We'll see if we can catch a train coming along here. I forgot to mention the location of Sky Rush, as this sign will point out to you, is in the section of the park known as the Hollow, which you will come to right after you pass by the Lemon Drop Lemonade stand. The Overlook Food Court is located in Kissing Tower Hill. You can get to it two different ways. From one entrance here across from the Coal Cracker right here. The other side is opposite the Triple Towers, right below the Pepsi Cop Star drink area. We've taken a look at the Overlook Food Court in a previous video. They have several different types of food, so we should have an easy time finding a variety of things to list for our D10 dice roll. So we'll go in, see what they have, make our list, we'll show it to you, and then we'll roll. Alright, so here is a look at our 10 choices for what we're possibly going to eat from the Overlook Food Court. We pulled this off of the Hersheypark website, so hopefully the list is still accurate. We are going to roll 2 times, one for each of us for a meal. If we roll one of the pizzas with our first roll, that's going to be it. We won't do a second roll because we've seen the pizzas and they're full size. If the second roll happens to get the pizza, then we'll just re-roll that one because we're not having a pizza plus another entree. It's too much food. So here we go with the rolls. First roll is a 6. And the second roll is a 4. So our rolls come out to be, the 6 is the salad, but the 4 is the cauliflower crust pizza, so we're going to re-roll the second. And it comes up with a 9. The 9 is the bacon cheeseburger, so I will be having the bacon cheeseburger, Jen will be having the salad, and we'll let you know how they are. Okay, so here's a look at our food before we chow down on it. Jen has the house salad. They also had a salad that had turkey and bacon on it, but this is the house salad with Italian dressing. And here is my bacon cheeseburger. It doesn't come with any condiments, so I got some packages of ketchup and mustard to add to it. Both the salad and the burger were about $12. I think, to be exact, my burger was $11.50, but the salad was $12. And then I got a side of fries. The fries didn't come as a side with the burger, it was separate. Those were about $5.50, I believe. And we got a refillable drink, so that wasn't included in the cost, but the total meal came up to about $35. And here's the refillable cup. So not surprisingly, you can probably tell just by looking at it, Jen's salad is just a salad, nothing real special about it. However, with today being as hot and humid as it is, they keep their salads in a refrigerator, which is nice, so it comes out nice and cold. And so she gave it a little bit of bonus points for that. So even though it's just your standard house salad, she felt like it should get at least a B- rating. Of course, yet again, that's bonus points for the weather. If it was a colder day, it probably wouldn't get such a high rating. The French fries they're pretty crispy for theme park fries, but they're not the greatest fries on earth. I'd give them a C. They're just fries, just like this is sort of just a salad. The fries are just fries. The bacon cheeseburger is, as you can see, well done. Not surprising for a theme park burger. The meat, I'm sure, was frozen, but they flame grilled it, which actually did give it a much better flavor. I would say that the burger, as a burger, it's probably a C grade, but for a theme park burger, I'd give it maybe a B, just because the flame grilling makes it taste a lot better than I was expecting it to taste. So I've actually enjoyed this burger a lot. One more quick comment I did want to make about the Outlook food court in general. Since the last time we've eaten here, they kind of changed the way that the lines work. It used to be there were several different windows, and you pick a window and grab your style of food from that window. They still do have the separate windows now, but there's only one central line that you get into to line up and order food, which means if you want something from, say, the third window, but the person in front of you wants something from the first window, you have to wait for them to finish ordering and get their food before you can move along to what you want, which is kind of inconvenient. I kind of miss the way they used to do it. They also today only had 2 lanes open to check out, with this crowd being the way it is today, very heavy. I'm a little disappointed that they would only have those 2 lines open when there are about 6 or so inside of there. Just so you don't think I'm entirely negative toward the Overlook, one thing I will say that's real nice about it is it has abundant seating both inside and outside. Look at all these outside tables they have here. There's a few dozen inside. And then if you sit out here all the way at the end of the seating, you get a great view of Great Bear, Sky Rush, and Comet. So here we are inside the Hersheypark Supply Company. Fun fact, you don't actually need a Hersheypark ticket to enter this store. They have 2 entrances, one you can get to from inside the park and one you can get to from outside of the park. This Ferris will greet you if you come through the entrance outside of the park. And it's also the main gift shop for the park, so it's huge and it has a nice variety of items, so it might take a little bit to go through everything they have here. Here's a look at the entrance to the Hersheypark Supply Company from the inside the park side. As you can see, there are 2 entrances, one if you're just straight up leaving for the day, and another one if you plan to re-enter the park later on. You'll get a stamp on your arm, your forearm, if you do go through the re-entry door. So that people aren't sneaking in on a different day, they change out their stamps daily. This stamp for today's date is the Hollow logo. When you first enter the store from outside the park, you're greeted with various pastel-colored Hersheypark logo glassware. It kind of matches Hersheypark's logo pinwheel, which you can see on the shirt and glassware above. They also have a couple of different baseball cap designs and umbrellas. The silver one should reflect the sun to keep you cool, so it's as useful in the sun as it is in the rain. The next rack has more glassware, hoodies, and shirts, as well as the pinwheel on some socks. There are tons of sock designs here, as we'll see later. Of particular note on this shelf are these glasses, which change color with liquid. What color do they turn? That's one of life's great mysteries. Around the corner, we have some more glassware, as well as the pinwheel shirt in a child size. Then we come around to a couple of racks of tie-dyed Hersheypark logo items. These include shirts, picture frames, hoodies, glassware. They have koozies, they have a backpack, another shirt, and even, I believe, a deck of playing cards. Yes, they are a deck of playing cards. The backpacks and koozies actually go all the way around this rack. Beyond the tie-dyed items are a few rows of impulse buy knickknacks and candy that'll lead you to the checkout. There are actually a couple of checkouts in this store, but this is the only one that I ever see open. Here's a quick look at another rack of candy as we head over to a pair of machines that will allow you to convert your cash to a card for Hersheypark's cashless system. These machines actually work the same as the ones that we showed you at Busch Gardens in our Dark Coaster member preview video in May, but if you have any questions, feel free to drop us a comment. Next to the machines, we have your classic name souvenirs. They have shot glasses as well as light up keychains. To the right of that, they have a large selection of hats that would put the store lids to shame. Okay, well, maybe not as impressive as lids, but it's still an impressive selection for a theme park. They even have some floppy hats in there. The hats lead us over to our third name souvenir, which are the classic license plates. And then beyond that, they have a discount t-shirt rack hiding against the wall. But it looks like almost all the shirts that are there are the Milton's Ice Cream Parlor design, so not much of a variety. If you like your house to make you hungry every time you light a fire, here's a table full of scented candles that smell like Hershey candies. They have Twizzlers, Hershey bar, Kisses, all kinds of things. And here's another tie-dye rack with a different color scheme. They have hoodies, some t-shirts, they have mugs, they have these cups, they have a tie-dye diary, maybe a tie diary. Sorry about that. They also have the snow globe with a kiss inside. And here are your typical theme park bubble ones. These actually go the extra step though and have the Hershey bar and kiss characters on them. Keeping with the theme of the two candies, here are some backpacks that look like them as well, the Hershey bar and the kiss. Here we come to the Reese's area. Jen found this fun Hawaiian shirt. They also have some Reese's wallets, a hoodie, they have a jigsaw puzzle. Here's a second smaller jigsaw puzzle. The fact that they have two jigsaw puzzles is a bit puzzling. The other side of the rack has a couple of Reese's keychains. They also have some more hoodies, a stick-on accessory for your phone. Here's a look at that second keychain. And they also have some more glassware up here. There's a really nice variety of magnets behind this rack. And then around the corner from them is a selection of General Hershey merchandise, all with this same logo right here, including that hoodie. There are some Hershey character plushes, which include the Hershey bar, the Reese's, the Kiss, and at the bottom, the Twizzler. Against the back wall, to my surprise, they actually have the Wildcats Revenge photo spot. I thought they'd move this to the ride exit because there's also one over there, but I guess there are two of them now? Probably, apparently. Jen located this Wildcats Revenge pin that I've never seen before now. That's a really nice pin. Up these stairs, as the signs say, you can find the Chocolatier, which is Hersheypark's only full-service table service restaurant. It also has two bars, one that's indoors and one that's outdoors with unique candy-themed drinks. Nearby, the back wall has Milton's Ice Cream Parlor, which, in addition to the ice cream, also serves some savory foods.
Farther back in the corner is the sweetery. The sweetery serves non-ice cream sweets such as fudge, cookies, Rice Krispie treats, or crispy rice bars, as some places want to call them, but we all know which cereal they use. They also sell some kitchen supplies, such as these spoons that say nom 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 on them. They also have a few sweetery logo items, such as this seemingly chocolate-coated mug. It's a nice gift for fans of chocolate. Here's a closer look at some of their pre-made treats, including the Rice Krispies treats. There's one here that's covered in caramel corn. And then below there's some cookies of various flavors. They're also selling more Hershey logo shirts. They have a Cup Fusion and Candymonium section, which includes hats, mugs, and also shirts. This shirt just says Agent, but it's a reference to the Cup Fusion ride. You'll have to ride it if you want to understand what that means. There's a rack of Jolly Rancher Remix items, basically the same style of stuff as other racks of merchandise. They have a Boardwalk water bottle, and then below that, they have a Sky Rush hoodie. Around the corner, in addition to this glassware here, are more coaster-based articles of clothing, including this Fahrenheit shirt and a pair of matching socks. They also have a Lightning Racer shirt and various other assorted coaster socks. Jen found another deck of playing cards that have all of the Hershey properties on them, and the cards retail for $9.99. In this corner we also have a Lightning Racer keychain. Here are all the logo socks that I was talking about earlier. Several different designs. Around the corner are Hersheypark coin purses as well as koozies, and at the very bottom, a Hersheypark Happy tote bag. Here's a look at yet another Hersheypark logo on shirts, hoodies, shot glasses, and mugs. If you can't find a shirt or a hoodie or a shot glass or a mug that you don't like in the shop, you just haven't been looking hard enough. They also have the classic I Survived the Super Duper Looper t-shirt. Behind that is a child-size Hersheypark shirt, a larger shirt with a different design, and a hat that matches the child-size shirt. There's a very subtle design on this one. Jen found another Hersheypark snow globe, this one very 1980s style, and this snow globe is $14.99. They have various colored Hersheypark mugs and tumblers, including that subtle one that matches the hats and the shirts. Here's a look at yet another selection of magnets. And those magnets are attached to the rack that includes all of the Wildcats Revenge merchandise. They have two different colored caps. And they also have a tumbler, bright red hoodie, a decal, and the pin that we saw earlier. Behind that's a rack full of glassware of various types. They have some more jigsaw puzzles, some decals, and even more playing cards. I'm surprised at the variety of playing cards they sell here. Is Eastern Pennsylvania a big poker region or something? If you're from the area, let me know in the comments. They also have some random teddy bears sitting here. I'm assuming it's a reference to the Hershey Bears minor league hockey team that they have here, but I'm not entirely sure. Maybe it's just because kids like teddy bears. Here we have yet another snow globe as well as a chocolate town hoodie. They chose a very interesting shade of brown for this hoodie. It's almost a beige color. That's not really chocolate colored at all. Then here we have the centerpiece of the area. It looks almost like the windows of the Kissing Tower. I'm wondering if the moving lights in the center are supposed to represent the tower itself. In the center are various pillows shaped like Hershey's candies. They have a Hershey bar pillow here. It and the others can be yours for the low price of $29.99. In this display behind the pillow, they have what I assume is a Hershey Kisses throw, and they also have a sparkly kiss at the top. Here's some stuffed cats holding Hershey bars, despite chocolate not being great for cats. And then we come to the Twizzlers and the Jolly Ranchers pillows. Across the way are some more key rings, as well as some of the little popping toys, the fidget toys. And then there's a rack of neon sharks randomly for some unknown reason. They have a nice Great Bear hoodie for $59.99. That's not too bad for a theme park hoodie, and the design is interesting. Around the side are more coaster shirts and socks. They have Storm Runner, Great Bear, and Sky Rush t-shirts, each of which are $24.99. If you enter the store while you're already inside the park, you come immediately to the 2023 logo merchandise. They have two different hat colors, a snow globe, they have this picture frame at the bottom, they also have a water bottle and a tumbler, and at the top they have the 2023 lime green t-shirt. There's also this lime green drawstring backpack and a child-sized gray shirt. You can also get that shirt in lime green if you prefer. And they also have a baby onesie in that color as well. Beyond the 2023 merchandise, they have racks of glassware, hats, and shirts in preparation for the 4th of July at Hershey. And at the top here are a couple more of the mugs and the water bottles with the 4th of July logo on them. They have some neat collectible figures in this box, as well as a dry erase board and some other knickknacks at the very bottom. The rack next to that one has this very comfortable looking Hershey Bears pullover, though maybe not so comfortable this time of year. They also have a Barbie doll of sorts. The Barbie doll's wearing an I Survived the Super Duper Looper shirt and comes with glasses, a little Kiss toy, and a Hersheypark tote bag. And there's some other non-Hersheypark knickknacks down here, and they have a coloring board with Hersheypark's 3 main mascots. Beyond that is where you would go to pick up your ride photos. This is yet another location in addition to the various photo hubs around the park. And more magnets. The store is very non-linear, so it's difficult to tell if I've shown everything. If I missed something, I apologize.
So that's it for our somewhat randomly generated video of Hersheypark this time. We hope you enjoyed our attempt at rolling for the various aspects of Hersheypark. If we had actually been playing a real game of Dungeons and Dragons, we would have been in some trouble rolling a 1 on the D20. I can't believe that happened, but hey, it ended up being a fun ride on the train after all. So if you enjoyed this idea and would like to see us do it with a different set of components later at Hersheypark or at another park instead, let us know in the comments below. We would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you enjoyed the video, please consider liking it and also subscribing to the channel. Every like and subscribe will help the channel. And please be sure to check out our Instagram page, which is appearing up in the corner right now. Thanks a lot for watching.
Thanks for watching, but the fun's not over yet. Click the box in front of my face for another fun video, or click my tree to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss another video.